Beautiful. Okay. Namaste, friends. Just going to do a little chanting before, we start. And good morning, Tammy. And I'm going to put on my socks. A little cold down here. And Shivani on the deck. And so give me a little thumbs up for the sound check action. So if it's clear or if I need to increase its volume. Good morning, Stephanie. It's nice to see that you're joining us from the coast, from the East Coast. And we're on Shivani. Good morning, Kate. Wow. How fun. Got a little different aspect on the stream here this morning. A little different view. And yeah, just again, let me know if the sound is coming through okay. Put my mic poised here. It's a gorgeous morning here at Shivalaya. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Yep. Good morning, Sam. Yeah, and Sam came up and helped with the deck. And yeah, it's dry enough to practice on. I got a little thing under my mat to help with that. So again, I'm just going to chant here a little bit. All right. Oh, it's just beautiful up here. Wow. So it was Ganesh Chaturthi yesterday, which is Ganesh's birthday. And, so I'm going to just chant a little bit of that, and there's this wonderful chant to Agni. I'm going to chant to that, and as a kind of honoring of our class today. But first to Ganesh. Gananantva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Priyanantva Priyapati Gum Havamahe Niddinantva Nidipati Gum Havamahe Vasomam Aham Jani Garbhadamatum Jasi Garbhadam Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Ekatantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Dhanti Prachodayate Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Samukh Lokascha Kapilo Vidukaranakaha Lamborascha Vikato Vignanasha Vinayakaha Dumakito Ganadaksho Bhalachandra Gajananaha Dvadushaikani Namani Yahapate Trunuyadipi Vidyarame Vivahecha Praveshe Nirgame Tata Sangrame Sankate Chaiva Vignistasha Nijayate Vignapali Kutaraya Shri Ganadhi Pataya Namaha Vakratunda Mahakarya Surikuti Samaprabha Abhinam Kurume Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvada Shuklam Maradidham Vishnum Shashavanam Chitubhajam Rasana Mananam Daye Sarvavigno Prashantaye Labaste Sham Jayaste Sham Kutaste Sham Pura Jayaha Yesham Nivarashamo Hridayascho Janardanaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Nanaratna Samayuktam Muktahara Vibhushitam Sanasam Asanam Charu Prichatam Pratigritam Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Into Agni. Om Agni Ele Purohitam Yagnasya Deva Ritvajam Uttaram Ratnat Attamaham. Om Agni Ele Purohitam Yajnasya Deva Puripajam Uttaram Ratnar Attamaham. Om Agni. Om Agni. Agni. Okay, friends. Welcome. Welcome and good morning. And here on Shivani, our practice deck here at Shivalaya. And again, many thanks to Sam for coming up this week and helping do some work here. Shaping up quite nicely. And the fall season is definitely upon us. A little cooler here in the mornings, and the trees are starting to change, some of their coloration. But today, the theme of our class is Agni, and the chant that I was chanting to Agni there at the very end is the very first mantra in the Rig Veda, and it just is honoring Agni. The translation is, we exalt the divine Agni, the divine light, the priest, the minister of the sacrifice is mostly how that translation goes. And what I wanted to offer for our practice today is that, that energy of transformation, that fire, if you will. We have our flame here in the back, our tiki torch burning, is really the flame of, of transformation. And it's also, the divine light. We see like Nataraj, which is, we have a Nataraj here in the forest, a little hard to see. And typically in the Nataraj, there's a circle of flame around, around Nataraj Shiva. It's my Shiva shirt today. And that flame represents that, again, that, that going through the circle of flame, going through this, fire of transformation, this fire of self purification. And what I would offer, here on this, um, Saturday morning, and as we attempt to work, in our yoga practice, and have our yoga move into the, if you will, the fabric of our life. The offering is always, some form of movement towards, if you will, like self-perfection of the being. Our asana practice has heat, and so we're purifying the body. Any practice of tapas, we've talked about this in the past, the restraint of vasana, the restraint of desire creates heat, that energy of transformation. And so anything, if you will, that we attempt to improve the nature of our experience in life, and essentially, um, give it integrity, if you will, or bring it into a more fabric of purification, then we're, if you will, facing those things in us that, again, may need some, illuminated insight, if you will. And it's certainly something that, I'm always kind of looking at, and most definitely, in recent times, actively engaged within, in a really pretty significant way in my own life. And so I offer that as a process of clarifying, our being. And as that, has become more clear, what happens, it seems like, is then the ability of our perception to be refined and potent just increases, and some of the weight, if you will, that our lives may carry, begins to, it just begins to lift, And so I really, when we set our sankalpas here, this morning, I'll be chanting, that mantra, and I, invite all of us to include in our intention something that you really just want to offer into, the cauldron, the fire of, self transformation, if you will. So that's all of it. And enjoy practice, and we'll just head off. And thanks for the chai and chat. Home, friends. I might just bring this a touch closer. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. How thrilling. We'll just get comfortable in your seated position here and begin to breathe. Breathe into the chest. So, of course, we normally breathe into the belly, but the belly breath is kind of a cooling breath. And that has its purpose, of course. But for today's practice, I want to invoke more temperature, internal temperature. And so literally the technique is as you capture the inhale, the belly draws to the spine, and the chest, assimilates the breath. It's more activating, again, more heating. And as we begin to enter into our practice here, I'm going to also include kind of a more traditional method of Yujayi Pranayam here, just to invoke our sadhana here this morning. And so Yujayi, it's taught in different ways, but the way that I've been taught by Babaji to teach this is first it's just done on the inhale. And when we inhale, we slightly tuck the chin. And that allows for the back of the throat, the glottis, to draw towards the vocal cords. And then we compress the air in the, if you will, in the back of the throat. And that's where that kind of very subtle, but kind of visceral oceanic sound begins to develop. And then we lift the chin as we exhale. So it's a chest breath, belly to the spine, oceanic sound, again, chin slightly tucked, and then lift the chin and then exhale. That's Yujayi Pranayam in the traditional method of Hatha Yoga. It's done just on the inhale. So continue this practice, Yujayi Pranayam, just breathing. And one is invited to enter into the inner sound completely. So let the exhale be without volume of sound. Let it be light. And again, that oceanic sound as you inhale. Yujayi Pranayam. Continue this practice, but then begin to formulate. It might even create an image of tossing some samskara in the cauldron of the fire of transformation here. Om Agni Ele Purohitam Yagnasya Deva Ritvajam Uttaram Ratnat Atmaham. Om Agni Ele Purohitam Yagnasya Deva Ritvajam Uttaram Ratnat Atmaham. Om Agni Ele Purohitam Yagnasya Deva Ritvajam Uttaram Ratnat Atmaham. Om Agni Ele Purohitam Yagnasya Deva Ritvajam Uttaram Ratnat Atmaham. Om Agni Om Agni Om Agni Om Agni. Okay, friends. Thanks for that beginning here. And let's just come off of our seated position. You just make your way to a tabletop position. And from here, just a little warm up of the body. And so just begin to circle the hips, say in a clockwise fashion, and just move organically. And that mantra to Agni is always just so interesting because it's, it talks about the priest and the sacrifice. It's kind of an interesting concept. And in yajna, that's the word, meaning sacrifice, there's this just idea that in the motion of the universe, there's just a perpetual, if you will, self-giving of the universe, into its kind of maintenance, even, if you will. Yeah. Oh, and then from here, just bow the heart, bring the forehead to the earth, hips stay lifted, little stretch for the upper thoracic. And then gently inhale, float on up, and we'll release then the hips down a little bit. Gaze goes to the horizon. And then lift the hips back, and then just sink the heart again. And just continue this, if you will, this motion. Yep. Just stir and open the body here some. Yeah. And then gently back into a neutral position. And then take the hands off the mat to the right side. The hips will stay lifted. A nice big inhale and exhale, arcing into the left side body as the forehead draws towards the earth here. Breathe very deeply. Ground the left hand, kind of track the outside. That left hip back. Left hip back. Breathe in. And gently, float up to neutral. We'll switch this out. So take the hands off the mat. To now the left side, same thing. Big inhale, exhale, arcing forehead towards the earth here. Just breathe. Again, very deeply. Just waking up into the body, if you will. Just staying with the breath patterns. And then gently inhale, float up into a neutral position here. And then take the left hand under the face, inhale, sweep that right hand to the sky. And a little spin of the wrist here. Breathe. Again, breathe deeply. A nice big inhale and exhale. Feed now this right hand through on the inside, left shoulder and ear to the mat. And then left hand again reaches top edge, hips drift to the right. And just breathe here. Stay with the breath. And then a nice big inhale and exhale. That left hand underneath, ground it. And then inhale, float the right so that right reaches. Yeah. And then release and switch. So ground. When ready, the right hand inhale, float the left. And again, spin the wrist. Breathe very deeply. Stay with the breath. Yep. And a nice big inhale and exhale. Sweep now this left hand through on the inside of the right shoulder and ear to that. Right hand reaches, top edge, hips drift to the left. Breathing here. Yep. And a nice big inhale and exhale. Now that right hand back underneath you, ground it. And then inhale, float the left arm to the sky. Yeah, nice. And then from here, extend now the right leg behind you. Tuck the back toes under on the mat, feeling into that. And then float the right leg hip height, left arm shoulder height. So really extend in each direction. And then take a nice big inhale and exhale, rounding. So squeeze knee to elbow and things. Nice rounding. Inhale, sweep open. And then again, exhale, round. And then one more, inhale, sweep open. Then exhale, round squeeze. And then we'll switch this out. So again, left then extends. We're going to turn this up a notch a little bit here in a moment. And then, so just a little niceness for the calf and Achilles, bottom of the foot, and then inhale, float, left leg, right arm. Reach in, and a nice big inhale. And exhale, rounding squeeze. And then inhale, sweep open. And exhale, round squeeze. One more of these, inhale, sweep open. Exhale, round squeeze. And release to neutral, and then extend the right leg out, float it, the left arm up, and then check this out, right? Sweep everything 90 degrees, like so. I know that's a lot. And then bend this right knee, capture the foot or ankle, squeeze first the heel to the buttocks to stretch the quad, the front of the hip, and then kick the foot into the hand, and then just lift the heart. So straighten that grounded right arm. Stay with the breath here. Breathe deeply. Oh, yeah. Hey. Yeah. And then gently release here to neutral. And then we'll switch this out. So then the left leg goes, it floats, right arm floats, and then articulate everything 90 degrees. Oh, yay. 90 degrees. Pause there. And then bend the left knee, capture the foot or ankle, squeeze heel to buttocks. So open the, front of the hip, the quad, feel that, and then kick the foot into the hand and just arch the back. Breathe deeply here. Stay with the breath. Oh. Then a nice big inhale, and exhale, gently release to neutral. Pause here, inhale, breath, and then let the hips release back into child's pose. So hips release back. Breathe into the belly here. Oh, yeah. And then gently inhale, rise off the earth, and then we'll meet in down dog. So tuck the back toes under, hips lift here, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And just take a moment for that. Wiggle into the posture in any way that's helpful. Breathe in. Ooh, yay. Just reminded to ground the roots of the fingers and draping triceps, to the earth. Going into that. Very good. And then lift the heels here, come up on the tippy toes. Keep the heels lifted and lifting, and then just sink the heart. Yep. Then release the heels back towards the earth. Yep. Nice. And then just gently walk the feet to the hands here. So a forward fold at the top of the mat is where we'll meet. So Uttanasana. You know this. Breathe in. A little stir of the head, a little movement if you want. Sway the torso. Grab opposite elbows if you like here. Different things. That's so good. And then inhale, half lift. So Ardha Uttanasana. So lengthen from tail to crown. The upper thighs are spiraling back. So that's into the rotation of the upper thighs. We know that. Inhale, breath. And exhale, lengthen out as you fold down. Chin tucks. Let's release. And then again, inhale, Ardha, half lift. Exhale, folding. Yep. And then one more of these. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, and bend the knees, send the legs back into now high plank. Just stay with your breathing. High plank, I push up. A little tracking of the shoulders, behind the wrists here. Core's active, so the hips are lifting just to this point where the belly button begins to draw to the spine. Just feels good. Yep. Engaged muscles. Stay with the breath here. Yeah. Just let this warm up the body. Yep. Agni. Yep. Nice big inhale. And exhale, release to the knees. We'll meet on the belly here, so float to the earth. And then Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. We'll pulse this immediately. So inhale, float on up. Shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, float down. 2 more times. Inhale, float up. Exhale, down. And then again, inhale, float on up. Exhale, down. Tuck the back toes under and inhale through a high plank, high push-up. And exhale, lift hips back into down dog. Nice. Let's stay with the breath. And then we'll meet in Warrior One. So stepping the right foot to the right hand. Pivot the left heel down. Ground it, And gently just make your way up. Back leg firms up here. When you're ready, float the hands and arms over the head. Just reach. Stay with the breath. Keep reaching through the tips of the fingers, particularly the left fingers. Feel into that back of the quad is from a little squeeze of the inner thighs. Feeling that. Ooh, and then nice big inhale. And exhale the hands behind you and interlace the fingers here. Head the arm bones draw back. Just pause here. Just breathe deeply. Still kind of opening the body a bit. And then gently release the grip of the hands. Float the hands and arms shoulder height. And check this out. Eagle arm. So the right arm under the left. And just squeeze forearms and palms here. Stay with the breath. Then sink just a little lower. And then lift the hands and arms. Take the gaze up. Yep. Stay with the breath. Oh, yay. And then inhale, reach the hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back. High plank, high push up here. And then a big inhale, exhale just halfway down. So half of a, chaturanga. Pause there. And then inhale, float the heart forward and up into upward facing dog. Roll over the tops of the feet. The quads engage. The core is active. Yep, breathe. Just kind of lean back into it. Stay with the breath. Inhaling. The next, so lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Down dog. Stay with your breathing. Oh, yay. And then left foot step. So left foot, left hand, warrior one again. Right heel grounds. No hurries here. Come to standing. Take a moment. Going into that. Arms reach to the sky when you're ready. Firm up the back leg quad. Little squeeze of the inner thighs. Yeah, core is active. Reaching. Oh, just stretch and lengthen here. And then a nice big inhale and exhale. Float the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers here. Pause. Head the arm bones. Draw back. Just take a breath or two. Ooh. Then exhale the breathing. And then inhale, float the hands and arms shoulder height. And then eagle arms, Garudasana. Left arm under the right. So forms, palms come together here. Stay with the breath. And then lift the elbows. Sink a little deeper. Lift the heart. Lean back a little bit. Stay breathing. Then inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, sweep the arms all the way down. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, bend just halfway. Pause here. Breathe, friends. And then inhale, float the heart forward. Upward facing dog. Again, pause for a moment. Lean back, chin tuck some. And then inhale, breath. And exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Downward facing dog. Whew. Righto. And then at the end of the next exhalation, bend the knees, look forward. and float or step to the top of the mat here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then Utkatasana, chair pose from here. So bend the knees and then float the hands and arms up. Yeah, Utkatasana, chair pose. Stay with the breath. This can be a little challenging for the shoulders. Lower the arms if you're feeling that. Breathe in. Then inhale, come to standing. Reach to the stars. And then exhale, just float the hands down by the sides. Take a moment here. Just feel. Invite your intention to reappear. The sacred fire ministered always in some like cosmic way by the priest, the one who's, it's almost like the shaman who's enjoined in guiding, the evolution of our being. Yep. And then gently inhale, float the hands and arms over the head. Exhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Give it a little bounce here. And then inhale, sweep to standing. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Chin tuck, hands come down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, full bend knees, step back, high plank, high push up here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, bend elbows halfway. Inhale, pull forward, upward facing dog. And exhale, lift the hips, down dog. Inhale, the right leg behind you. Exhale, right foot, right hand. Pivot left hand down, so warrior one. Inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine, grow tall. Exhale, bow torso on the inside of this right leg, hands and arms over the head. Breathe in. Pause here. And then exhale, breath. Inhale, float up and out, so reach to the sky. Exhale, float all the way down, hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, float torso, up dog. Exhale, lift the hips, auto, down dog. Inhale, left leg behind you. Exhale, left foot, left hand, pivot right heel down. Inhale, come to standing warrior one. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow torso, hands and arms over the head. Breathe here. And then exhale, breath. Inhale, float hands and arms over the head, reach. Exhale, sweep all the way down. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, Urdhva, Mukha Svanasana, that's up dog. Exhale, Adho, Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Pause here. So Surya Namaskar, sun salutation B. At the end of the exhalation, bend the knees, look forward, and float or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, stand. And exhale, sweep the hands down by the sides. Pause here for a moment. Palms turn open. Heart is just open to change, transformation, healing. Sacrifice. And then again, inhale, sweep hands and arms over the head. Exhale, bend knees, Utkatasana. Inhale, stand, reach. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Chin tuck sounds come down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, full bend knees. Plant hands, step back. High plank, high push-up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho. Inhale, right leg behind you. Exhale, right foot, right hand. Pivot left heel down. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands and arms shoulder height this time. Inhale, breath. Exhale, right arm under the left, eagle arms. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, synchro low. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, float all the way down, hands plant, step back, high plank, high push-up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, halfway chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Adho. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, left foot, left hand, pivot right heel down. Inhale, float arms overhead. Exhale, hands behind, interlace. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, breath. Inhale, float hands and arms shoulder height. Exhale, left arm under the right. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push-up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway. Inhale, up. And exhale, lift the hips back. Pause here for a moment, friends. Stay with your breathing. And then inhale, float the right leg hip height here. Again, pause, really send the leg back. And then take the leg higher, left hip naturally spin open. Work the foot straight to the sky. And then bend that right knee, track the foot over to the left. Stay with the breath. And then inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, release it down. And we'll switch. So inhale, float. Left leg, hip height, pause here. Send the leg back. Then inhale, take the leg higher, hip spins open. Work the foot straight to the sky. And then bend now the left knee. Just pause here. Breathe. Then inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, release it down. At the end of the next exhalation, bend the knees, look forward. Floater step to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha, half lift. Exhale, fold. Excuse me. Bend knees. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale, sweep the hands and arms down by the side here. Pause for a moment. Oh, yeah. Just enter into that fire of transformation with the whole being, with the essence of surrender and sacrifice. Yep. And then gently bring the feet together. Inhale, float hands and arms overhead, reach. Next, I'll bend knees, Utkatasana. We'll pause here for a moment. Stay with the breath. Yep. A nice big inhale, exhale, sink lower. Then bring the hands to prayer. And then twist to the right. So left elbow on the outside of the right near thigh. You can track the outside of that left hip back a little bit. And then float the right shoulder away from the right ear to open the torso, broaden collarbones. If you want a little more, the left hand to the earth. And the right arm to the sky. Just stay with the breath. Just allow the heat of the form to build. And then inhale, breathing. Exhale, hand and arm down. Back up into Utkatasana. Just stay with it here And then inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then twist to the left. So right elbow on the outside into your thigh, sinking armpit to knee. And again, you contract the outside of that right hip back, left shoulder away from left ear to spin open. And then right hand earth, left hand to the stars. Stay with the breath. And then nice big inhale. Exhale, hand down, look down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Pause here. Give the legs a little bounce. Going into that. Then inhale, stand. And exhale, sweep the hands by the sides here. Pause for a moment. Close the eyes, relax the body. And just open the cells of the body, the heart, the mind to Agni, to the divine light. And then gently open the eyes here. Sweep hands and arms over the head, so reach. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend knees, send the legs back. Little vinyasa here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, bend elbows halfway. Inhale, Urdhva. And then exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Yep. Pause here. Yep. And then float the right leg hip height. The leg floats hip height. Then maybe inch the hands back a little bit if that'll help ground the left heel. And then really ground now the right hand firm and come up under the fingertips of the left hand. Stay with the breath. And then float the left arm, possibly. Then if you want to take this further, bend the right knee and then sweep the left arm behind you and capture the foot. And then just kick the foot into the hand. And just stay with your breathing. And then gently release the foot and leg back into down dog. Breathe here. And then float now the left leg, hip height. And again, encouraging grounding the right heel. Then firmly ground the left hand. Come up onto the fingertips of the right hand. Float the right arm. Breathe. And then if you want, bend the left knee, sweep that right arm behind you, capture the foot, and kick the foot into the hand. Stay with the breath. And then gently, when you're ready, release the arm and the leg. Down dog. And then child's pose will meet Malasana child's pose. Is that surrender, sacrifice? Take a moment. And we'll meet back in down dog. So gently rise, downward facing dog. Nice. And then warrior two, right foot steps, left heel Pivots down. Come to standing Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And just take a minute, establish the asana. Little intersecting heel arch of front to back foot. Bend deeply into this front leg knee. Core is going to be active here. And just floating the arms shoulder height. Just stay with the breath. Put a little pulse into this front leg. So let that quad work a little. And then open the palms to the sky. Sink a little lower. Pause here. Yep. And then inhale, straighten arms overhead, straighten front leg. So reach and straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend, float. Hands and arms shoulder height. Then again, 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend, float. 1 more. Inhale, straighten, reach. And then exhale, left forearm, left thigh, right arm over the head. And just extend, let the heart spin open here. Stay with your breathing. Yep. And then straighten the right arm to the sky, or to the earth rather. Kind of mirroring y'all. So it's the left arm over the head, right? Breathe. I'm going to sink lower and then sweep this left arm to the sacrum. The heart spins open. Stay with it. And then binding. So bring this right hand underneath and just squeeze here. Keep the heart spinning open. Stay with the breath. Yep. And exhale, you're breathing. And inhale back into Warrior 2. So release. And then reverse triangle. So this right arm over the head. And just straighten that front leg and just reach behind you here. Yep. And then nice big inhale. Exhale, hands and arms shoulder height here, thumbs to the sky. Triangle pose. Inhale, breath. And exhale, just reach that right hand forward. And when the hip stops moving, you just tip. Stay with the breath. Really big wingspan here. Gaze to the thumb of that left hand. Stay with the breath here. Yep. And then Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Big inhale, exhale, look down. Bend the front leg knee, step the back foot in. Take this left hand to the sacrum. And just step in, plant the front hand in front of the front foot. And straighten the front leg, lift the back leg. Float the left arm. Stay with the breath. And then from here, if you like, bend that left knee, capture foot or ankle. And again, kick the foot into the hand. Stay with the breath. And gently release the foot back into Warrior 2 is where we'll meet. So hands and arms shoulder height. And then our kind of 180 transition. So inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg and then just pivot this right foot in. The left foot turns open here. Breathe, bend in that front leg knee. And when you're ready, float hands and arms shoulder height here. Little pulsing into this front leg. Palms turn up. Sink low. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, reach, hands and arms over the head. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, bend. 1 more. Inhale, straighten, reach. And exhale, bend. Extend the side angle, Parsvakonasana. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm over the head and just extend it. Heart spins open here. Breathe in. And then straighten the left arm towards the earth. Sink. Lower here. And then right hand sacrum. Heart keeps spinning open. And then bind it. Stay with the breath. Breathe. And exhale the breath. And then inhale Warrior 2. And then reverse triangle. So straighten front leg. This left arm over the head. And just reach. Stay with the breath. So very nice. And then hands and arms shoulder height, thumbs turn to the sky, triangle pose. Inhale, breathing. Next, I'll just reach into it. And again, when the hip stops moving, just stop and then tip. Left hand earth, right hand sky. Arms are very, very broad here. Shoulders move away from the ears. Gaze to the thumb of the right hand. Oh yeah. And then nice big inhale. Exhale, look down, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Bend the front leg knee, right hand sacrum. Step the back foot in. Plant the front hand in front of the front foot in. Straighten that front leg. Float right arm to the sky. And then possibly bending that right knee, capture the foot. Kicking the foot into the hand, stay with the breath. Breathe here. Oh yeah. And gently release the foot here. Send the leg back, warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten this front leg, this left leg. Turn the left foot in here. Hands stay on the waist, wide-legged angle forward fold. Inhale, breathing. Next, I'll just hinge here at the hips, folding forward. Hands release, forehead lengthens towards the earth. Stay with the breath. Whew. And then inhale, half lift here. And then ground the left hand under the face. Inhale, take the right hand to the sky. So a little twist here. Breathe. And a nice big inhale. Exhale, release, hand and arm down. We'll switch. So ground that right hand in. I'll float the left. Breathe. Oh, yeah. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, release the hand and arm down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to the waist. Little bend the knees. Inhale to standing. And then pivot this right foot, back foot steps to the top of the mat. Just take a moment here. Relaxing. Ooh. So Nataraj Asana, our dancer, Shiv, which is right here in the forest. And we have the flame right here of transformation. So work the weight into the left foot. And then take the right hand and arm out. And then just bend this right knee and capture the foot from the inside with the right hand. So the palm stays turned up. And then from here, take this left arm over the head. Bring it into Gyan Mudra. So the pad of the index finger, pad of the thumb. So Gyan, wisdom, knowledge, seal. And then begin to just kick the foot into the hand and keep lifting through the left hand here. So just putting a nice little back bend into the body without dipping down. So just keep kicking the foot into the hand. Breathe. Oh, yay. And then just gently release the foot. Bring everything back into neutral position. Pause here. Take a breath. Then hands down by the side. Put the weight now into this right leg. Left palm turns up. Bend left knee. Capture the foot from the inside here. Take a moment. And then float the right arm. Gyan Mudra. Pad index finger, thumb. Reach into the sky. And then begin to kick that left foot into the hand. Just breathe. Keep lifting through the right arm. Just let the body open naturally here. Breathe in. And then gently release the foot here. Back into neutral. Hands and arms down by the side. Just let that integrate. Allow the heat of it to move through the body. The Agni. And then one more time each side. So work the weight into this left leg. Right bends, capture, float left arm. Kick. And this time we can go down a little bit. So a little hinge at the hips, but then keep lifting the left arm. Stay with the breath. Breathe. Stay in the dance. And then gently soften the standing leg knee. Release that right foot back to neutral. And we'll switch it out. So weight into this right leg. Float left. Capture foot. Right arm lifts. Kick foot into hand. And then just hinge at the hips a little bit. And just stay in the dance. The fire of transformation, Agni. Oh yeah. And a little gentle bend and stand leg knee. Begin to release out of it. Pause here. And then a figure 4. So put the weight in the right leg. Left foot floats above the right knee. We're here. And then bend standing leg knee. Then draw the pubic bone back. And then just hinge. And then just sink into whatever kind of depth is appropriate for your body. Maybe the hands release to the earth here. Stay with the breath. This can be a fun little arm balance, grounding the hands and really hooking this left foot into the upper arm of that right arm. And just find your balance in the arms and then just send that left leg back, or right leg back rather. And back to neutral. Not quite done, so halfway up. And then left elbow into left instep, twisting to the right. And then maybe straighten the arms, left hand earth, right hand to the sky. And then back to neutral. Not done though, so push the floor away. Come to standing. Reach hands and arms to the sky. And then extend that left leg out. And just float the foot back and reach to the stars here. And then back to neutral. And just pause. And we'll switch sides. So put weight into this left leg. Float the right foot above the left knee. There's that figure 4 again. Then hands to prayer. And we sink. And then draw the pubic bone back. Stay with the breath here. Sink into the hip. Maybe the hands to the earth. Maybe that little arm balance again. So from up, that really squeeze that right foot into the upper arm of that right arm. And then just find the arm balance first. And now we send the left leg back. And then back to neutral. And again, not quite done. So right elbow into instep of the right foot, sinking. Then hands to prayer. And then maybe opening arms, right hand earth, left hand to the stars. And just breathe. And gently release to neutral. And again, not quite done. Hands down like floats. Then arm reaches to the sky. And then 45 degrees. Then float the leg back, reach to the stars. Move a little bit. And then back to neutral position. Pause here. Nicely done, friends. And so we'll come into Malasana Garland. So toes open, heels turn in. And just come to squatting. Blocks, as we know, can be helpful here under the pelvis. That's knees or hips are sensitive. And then hands to prayer here at the heart. And just kind of ground upper arms into the inner legs. Breathe. And then we'll twist open to the right. So ground the left hand and then float the right arm to the sky. This big wingspan. And then possibly binding here. Stay with the breath. Mm-hmm. And gently to neutral. So hands back to prayer. Then we switch. So right hand, earth. Left arm floats, reach in. And then again, possibly binding. Just open up. And then back to neutral. Yep. And then gently release the hands behind you and the hips to the earth. Take a moment here. And just relax. Nice, friends. And so extend the left leg out and draw the right foot and leg over the left, like so. And just hug the knee into the chest. And so then we bring left elbow crease into the knee, sweep the right arm behind you, twisting open to the right here. Stay with the breath. Kind of work the ribs out of the way if that's a thing. And then maybe this left arm over the right leg and just twist deeper. Stay with the breath here. And then gently soften out of the twist and just sweep all the way over to the left here. Come onto the forearms and then just breathe into the belly. Really nice. And then gently walk the hands back towards the body here. Unravel. And we'll switch. So extend that right leg. Left knee bends. Like so. We're here. And then float the foot over that right leg. Hug in. Sit nice and tall. And then elbow crease to shin or knee. And sweep the left arm behind you. Fingertips. Catch the balance. Twist deeply here to the left. Maybe working the ribs a bit out of the way. And then this right arm over the left leg if you want. A little more depth in the form, and then maybe even straighten that right arm. Just breathe. And then we'll gently soften out of this. And then once again, now sweep over to the right. Ground the forearms. Breathe into the belly. And gently walk the hands back towards the pelvis. Extend the left leg. Pause in here and Dandasana in staff pose. Just really lengthen the spine. And then lean forward a little bit, bring the hands to the shins, keep the front spine long so there's a lift up out of the base of the pelvis. And I grab my shins pretty firm and pull kind of the legs back into the pelvis, and that helps kind of extend the length of the front spine. Going into that, inhale breath, and then exhale. Now we can round and hinge, head can release, breathe into the belly. And gently belly to the spine, walk the hands up the legs to return out of this. Put a little bend in the knees like so. Yeah, and then we'll come into reverse tabletop with the knees bent. And you can bring the feet a little bit further back. And then with an inhale, just lift the hips. Yeah, stay with the breath. Breathe here. That's nice. And then gently release the hips to the earth. And then come all the way onto your back. So just gently make your way onto the back. Your legs can extend. A little full body stretch. So lengthen the arms over the head. And then hug the knees into the chest. Hug them. Little rock side to side. And then plant the feet the width of the mat. Wide here, arms T position. And then just float the knees to the left, the gaze to the right. And then with an inhale, float the knees back up. Let the gaze then float over to the left. And just keep that movement going, little spiraling of the spine. Nice. And then draw the knees to neutral. And then Viparita Karani Mudra. We know this, our inversion. So ground the hands and arms, float the legs, maybe a block under the pelvis if you have one close by. Lift the feet, legs, and hips. Sink the hips into the hands. And just stay with the breath. And we'll gently begin to make our way out of this. Little bend in the knees. Release the hands, release the hips. Neutral spine here, so flat back for a moment. And then extend the legs out long, preparing for our Pre-Shavasana breath retention. So extend the legs out, feet roll open, palms turn up here by the sides. And then exhale your breath completely, and then take a big inhale and hold the breath in and just wait on it. And then gently exhale the breath. We'll do one more of those, but we'll pooch out the belly as we hold your breathing. So exhale and then a big inhale. Hold the breath. Pooch out the belly. And then exhale your breathing. So just settle into your Shavasana here. Get comfortable. Just get very relaxed. Just awakening into awareness here. And breathing into the belly, moving from Surya to Chandra, from the sun and Agni to the moon, the cool water. Just gently begin to move the body. And gently make your way eventually to the left side, pausing there. And then making your way to a seated position, and we'll continue our practice for another 25 minutes or so. Get a dose of pranayama and a meditation practice. And so just get comfortable in a seated position. Just continuing this kind of this archetype theme of Agni, that divine light, the divine fire, the fire of transformation. Most potent with the breath. And it's beginning by deep yogic breathing with a kumbhak, understanding this as breath suspension. The technique is getting to the top of the inhale or the bottom of the exhale and continuing to filter, say, some remnants of breath in or out of the body. The full yogic breathing, as we know, a little reminder, begins by extending the belly as we initiate the inhale, and the ribs expand, chest lifts and expands, and gently softening the rib cage to release the breath, eventually belly to the spine, fully released. And so just beginning, if you haven't already, the full rhythmic yogic breathing with kumbhak suspension at top and bottom. And then after your next exhalation, just release this practice here. And then we'll move on to the practice of the bandhas, or the locks, or the seals. The first is mulband, and the technique, as we've discussed, or if it's as a little reminder, we'll take a full yogic breath, but then to capture Mula Bandha, we squeeze the area of the anal sphincter and draw that contraction into the column of the colon, that is, and hold that as the breath is held, and then releasing the breath and releasing the bandha. And I'll teach the first round or two of this for us, and then I'll let you go with the practice. The breath is held for as long as comfortable, and we'll kind of maybe shorten that to teach it, and then I'll let you have your own process around that. And so first release all the breath, then a full yogic breath, so belly expands, ribs, chest, and then contract the anal sphincter area, and then draw that contraction into the column of the colon. Hold the breath. And then gently release the breath, release the bandha. And then again the next round, so full yogic breath in, belly expands, ribs, chest. Capture the bandha, so contract anal sphincter area, draw that contraction into the column of the colon, pause. And then gently release the breath. Continue the practice. Find your own pacing here with the practice. Mula Bandha, the root lock. And then with your next exhalation, complete the round that you're on. And then we'll move on to Jalandhar Bandha, the throat lock. The technique is, again, a full yogic breath. The breath is held in, but when we get to the top of the breath, we release the chin into the hollow of the throat, lift the sternum, and then we close the glottis at the back of the throat. And one method to do that is just to kind of turn the corners of the mouth up. Breath is held in, and then the chin is lifted, and then we release the breath. So Jalandhar Bandha, it means cloud holding water, the throat lock. I'll teach the first one. So exhale breath, and then inhale breathing, belly, ribs, chest, full yogic breath. Get to the top of the breath, release the chin into the hollow of the throat, lift the sternum, turn the corners of the mouth up. Lift the chin and then exhale your breathing. And then just continue this practice. Jalandhar Bandha, the throat lock. And then completing the round that you're on, your own pacing. And keep the eyes closed. Just feel the effects of the practice. Stoking our inner Agnis with the practice of Mula, Jalandhar Bandha. And in our last practice, last bandha, we know this as Uddiyana Bandha, the navel lock. It means flying upward. It's done on an exhale retention here. So we'll take a full breath in and then a full breath out. We lean forward and draw the belly button to the spine and then up under the rib cage, holding the breath out. So no breathing, and then relax the belly out and then straighten the torso when you're ready to inhale. The body is normally not used to holding the breath out, so it can be a little extra sensitive, and sometimes maybe even the retention is significantly shorter. That's totally fine, totally normal. No necessarily gasping for breath in this practice. It's a really powerful, potent yogic practice. Significant amount of internal fire is developed in this practice. So exhale your breathing. I'll teach the first one. Take a full yogic breath in. Belly extends, ribs, chest. And then release the breath, lean forward, plant the hands down, keep the spine elongated and the head in line with the spine. So don't droop the chin. Then draw the belly to the spine and up under the rib cage. Relax the belly out and then inhale, straighten the torso. And take a little catch breath, and then when you're ready, inhale your breathing here. Second round, continue, carry on, find your own pacing. And then with your next exhalation here, the round that you're on, be complete the practice. Again, just keep the eyes closed and just feel the effects of the practice. And then take a few rhythmic belly breaths now. So a little more cooling breath pattern. Yogic practices bring us through this cauldron of transformation, change, to allow then our capacity of our concentration to then be guided towards this refined, subtle state of consciousness, of perception. As we enter into our meditation, first allow for the body to fully let go and relax. So just soften in the nature of the skin, the eyes, the ears. Let a stillness begin to pervade the essence of experience. The nature of spirit being peace, Just focusing on your breathing. We can communicate with our higher being through the lens that exists in the heart. Its precise location is behind the very bottom part of the sternum, inside the cavity of the chest, about 4 finger widths deep inside. The mantra of Om is self-existing here in the heart center, in Hridayam. We can commune with this being through the lens of that mantra, its signal. And just placing Om in the mind as you gently, very subtly breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Om on the inhale, Om on the exhale. Very light. Just staying focused in the heart center here, mantra, breath. Sometimes the tendency of concentration can come with almost like a sense of firmness. And one is invited to soften the edges of all experience. Let even the nature of concentration have a light quality to it. So very gently let the mantra of Om subside here and just allow that the threads of your awareness, the concentration to be guided into peace. It's the feeling of that sense of stillness and peace surrounding and within you. If in any way the thinking mind appears, just echo it with the fabric of Om in the background of any thought that appears. There's a sense of surrender to the stillness, to the peace. Just gently let the breath lengthen, but notice how the fabric of the stillness can be sustained in your perception. Just returning to the body here some, and so bringing hands to prayer here at the heart, and just reflecting into the gratitude that we have to practice yoga and to invite these transformative ways, the sacrifices, the surrender, the fire of change, which invariably must begin with an attempt to shift, say, bringing our being into more illuminated insight into the nature of our own being, into the nature of the universe. And to that we send our namaskars, we send our salutations. Namaste. Well, friends, thank you for joining here this morning. And I hope all that has supported your experience in some way. And it's just glorious here today at Shivalaya. I'm feeling so grateful for this time to be here. And thanks, Stephanie. Very welcome. And I wanted to mention, you may know, but I'm going to try and do one last retreat here at Shivalaya. Just kind of a day retreat on the 25th. You're welcome, Sarah and Crystal. Thanks so much, friends. And want y'all to come up. It's going to be fairly casual. We have a day of practice on Saturday, but we'll be invited to stay overnight, either on Friday night and or Saturday night, with a fun little hike, probably on Sunday morning. So the 25th of September is kind of the date that we're looking at. You're very welcome, Sarah. Thanks for joining. And so please come. Yeah, please come. And to everyone, all the time, everywhere, love, peace. All right. Take care, my friends. Be well.